touched my heart. And it's Ephesians 3:20 and 21. And this is the message because it's cooler this way. God can do anything you know, far more than you could ever imagine, or guess, or request in your wildest dreams. He does it not by pushing us around, but by working within us. His deep spirit, deeply and gently within us. Glory to God in the church, glory to God in Jesus, glory down all the generations, glory through all millennia. Do you know what you're a part of? I'm the guy who had social anxieties, social tics. If I walked into like a new space with new people, I was so quiet and I kept my head down. Like, oh gosh, I really hope they don't even talk to me. But I kept stepping out in faith because I saw something I wanted. I saw it in my sister. I saw it in the people that were on stage. And it changes over time. It's like I had dreams for myself, but his dreams are beyond my wildest imaginations. When's the last time you had something worth being passionate about? Something that you could truly have faith in? Because honestly, it doesn't come around very often. When I started at Works, I spent a year not believing in myself or where I was. In fact, I was in a horrible relationship that if I even took a party on, I thought it would end. Crazy. So I got in my car and I drove from Washington, D.C. and I called my dad and said I need a job because I'm moving home. Worst moment of my life, and best. And then I called my sister Cammie and said, I can't work for Dad, so you better hook me up. We gotta figure this out. I gotta figure something out. And so I would spend my entire lunch hour going from Panera to Starbucks to the mall, thinking maybe someone will see my shirt. Please see my shirt. I was scared to death. My goodness, but then it's like something takes over you. You really do see where you're going, and you jump after it. You don't stop till you get it. So what did that look like for me? I was passionately pursuing freedom. I wanted to be able to do things on my schedule, with my family, where I wanted, when I wanted. I got it. It was cool for a minute. And then I was like, I want money. I'm gonna go after it. So I went after it. And every time I'd get so burnt out in the process, it was nuts. But it was like, you just go because your heart needs it. And I got the money this year. So then I was like, now what? Maybe I'll jump into every pleasure I can imagine. That's not fulfilling. And it's like the whole time in It Works Global, this is something you can have faith in. Because just like Dr. Don says, He's bringing you the blessings in this to your body, to renew your youth, to renew your dreams. To Jesus be the glory, because I wouldn't even want to hear his name when I joined this company, but he has bombarded me with, like if you're playing WWF and he gets the chair, bam, Kyler, bam. He's real. He's in this. This is something you can be passionate about. This is something you can have faith in. Do you know what you're a part of, and why haven't you quit your job and gone home to your dad and said, I'm doing this? Because I wasn't going to work with my dad. I was doing this. Just so you know. Yeah, so I'm supposed to move from there to introduce one of the people who has changed our life more than you can imagine. He's the reason that we are able to even get people on healthy supplements, because he's got the catchiest product of all, which is the ultimate applicator. Yeah. So when I got the email that I was going to be introducing him, I thought, oh, I hope my knees don't shake too hard. But Luis, he's a man that, he's an adventurer. I remember the first few times I met him, that he was the guy that was like, I went to China, and my accents are horrible, I won't do it. And he was like, and I went after herbs, and I went after this, and I'm just like, wow, this man's so cool. And then I realized this man's pursuing his dreams. This man is a man that's not going to stop till he gets it. and then he partnered with us. How cool, while we pursued ours. It's not just a man who's an adventurer, not just a passionate dream seeker. Just like us, he also wanted his family to be a part of it, which is where my family's heart is. I mean, how cool that I get to be a part of this, just like you do. How cool that I get to see Kay Souter up here, Pam Souter's daughter. How cool that my sister's number one. That's cool. And how cool is it that Luis gets to work with his kids every single day, and as we grow stronger, they grow stronger in unity. And like, this is the dream you're a part of. This will change your life, it'll change your family, it'll change your community. Luis is one of the men who started this. And all I know is I'm so thankful because it's changed my life, my sister's life, my family's life, his family's life, and every person in this room. So everybody stand up. Because Luis Mijares is a dreamer, and he's a man that changed all of our lives.
I've heard a great joke the day they took that picture. No? Look, it's all gifts. Oh, this is amazing. I never thought I could see such a big gathering like this. It's impossible not to remember when my audience were in a small house, 4 people, and a dog. I'm counting the dog to make the count higher. And on those days, I was always trying to explain science behind the applicators. And I went through a lot of scientific ramblings and talking about enzymes and physiology, a lot of scientific stuff. I even thought that I had the perfect script for one of those Discovery Channel programs, probably one called The Secret Life of Your Lost Candles, your love candles. So, well, I went on trying to explain all that, and at a certain point I noticed that only the dog was paying attention to me. I thought, oh boy, I lost them. But well, trying to be professional, I just kept on, and when I finished, I could see the dog wagging the tail, and I thought, this is a smart dog. So, and you know, when dog owners and their dogs, they tend to look alike, so I thought, smart dogs, smart owners. And I was right, because we had a distributor that night, a sign even. So, from then to now, we've been trying to simplify the message, what we say about the applicators. And, well, with the unwanted help of the government, and those regulations written in 1943, we've come to the point in which what we say now is, hey, you want to look good? Try that crazy rap thing. No more other claims. But that is okay, because you don't need to know how it works to use it, to sell it, to have benefits from it. Because it's the same that you don't need to make a tune-up in a car to drive one. You know it works because you've seen it, and we've seen it for several million times now, which is the amount of successful applications of the applicator we have seen. So, what do you need to know if it's not the science of this? What you need to know is how safe it is, how we put it together, just to make your mind easy on this, because for a skeptical mind, you would say, oh, this is too good to be true. It is working, but I am getting into something that I wouldn't like. Is it safe? Who is taking care of this? So, I forgot I had a clicker in my head. Okay. It all boils to our philosophy, the way we produce our products, the way we think about them. And basically we're talking about science, technology, and nature. But I don't own those words. You can hear them in a lot of different companies. No? You can even hear them from those guys that produce the GMO seeds, no? Those corporations like Monsanto. No? It was voted the most evil corporation last year. No? And they can say the same thing. We deal with herbs, we deal with science and with technology, but we are messing it up all for everybody. No? And there are also some marketing-based companies that all they want to know is marketing research and profits. So they will take any tiny bit of whatever it sounds like science about technology. They throw their dab of we are natural products. We are a natural products company, although they really don't care. And so what makes us different? What is different besides science, technology, and nature? And the difference is passion and love. That's what. I have love for the job I do. Yeah? I have passion for health, for nature, for technology, for knowledge, for problem solving. I love to put things to solve problems for people, not for customer targets. For people I love, for the people I love, I want to know that I am doing good. And also, I always throw a dab of OCD, which helps when you are just working hard doing this. I can go on sometimes for days, I'm skipping meals, I don't sleep, or I wake up at 5 in the morning and run to a small set of lab I got in my house so I can do these kind of things because I just get obsessed on getting this right, on making it good the way it should be. Yeah. Conspiracy theorists say that I am this way because probably I just went to many parties when I was a nerdy teenager back in the 70s. On those days, fun was botanical based or hair based. No? These flower children, they had the weed, magic mushrooms, sacred peyote cactus, those funny tasting brownies. Never hear those conspiracy guys. Truth is that my interest in herbs started when I was a very little kid. Since I was a child, it started with many things. My grandfather, he became a pharmacist 120 years ago, when pharmacists and herbalists were about the same. And he was very proud of his job and his pharmacy and his own formulas he put together. And he had the oldest pharmacy in northern Spain. Then we had, I always remember, I had an Aunt Oliva. This old lady was 103 years old and she was totally independent. Lived by herself in her own house, had her orchard, and even took care of some animals. And all her health needs were taken care of from herbs she grew in that small orchard. That was amazing. No? This lady managed to travel at that age and train and even, I saw her once dancing. Can you imagine that? A 103-year-old lady dancing energetically because of all this. So, yeah, that's part of my upbringing, my interest in herbs. I love that. I love the smell, how they grow, what happens with your health when you take them. And besides that, destiny. destiny kicked in, and it provided me with a professional career, a lot of years. I gathered more than 20 years in the pharmaceutical and skincare industry. And I got to know from pharmaceutical research to skincare development, and also how to handle all that as a CEO of a company. So when I was at that point, yeah, everything just kicked in. Huh? I love herbs. I know how to develop. I want to develop with herbs, but do it the way I like, with all my passion, love, and OCD into it. So we do this with botanical ingredients. That's an easy one. We use a lot of herbal extracts. We take a lot of care of what kind of herbal extracts those are. But it's not only the extracts you see on the list. No? We use raw materials that are plant-based. No? That means that even those funny chemical names you read on the labels, they are derived from plants. Remember, I need to do that. No? If not, I am not okay. No? And some of the special selected active ingredients, they are also from botanical origin. Everything is herbs around here. Okay. Okay, well, so those are the botanical ingredients. Scientific knowledge, we're talking about research, a lot of research on the performance of the herbs, on their safety, and on dosage. And this is very important because in this business, there's a practice called fairy dusting. It's basically a marketing practice in which the marketing department asks the formulators to just throw a dab of an active ingredient so they can claim whatever they want to claim in their advertising. No? But it's not going to work. You need to have the exact dosage, the dosage that was proven in research that would do the trick. So we strive always to make sure we know which is the exact dosage and have those research studies with us. But, and this is important, sometimes too much of a good thing is a bad thing.
Like
so,
protein?
well, I can tell you a very recent example. It just came up a week ago. No? It is related to aging. You've always heard about one of the theories about aging is oxidants. And so that's why everybody is taking antioxidants as part of taking care of the aging process.
I lost the lid.
And we have just a soup of letters, ROS, reactive oxygen species, and blah, 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 oxygen, right? Then companies started making antioxidants more powerful, more powerful, more powerful. And this is funny, no? For example, they heard about what is called the French paradox, in which they found out that in France, even though they really eat a lot and a lot of fats and whatever, they are healthier than most people, and they found out it was because of all that wine drinking, no? So the toast of those drinks. So they researched the ingredient that produced that. They found the resveratrol. You heard about it. It's been all over the place. Resveratrol, a great antioxidant. But the last time I saw one of those small capsules, they said one of the product claims was that it was the equivalent of 65,000 bottles of wine. I know drunk people. I got some friends that I could call heavy drinkers, but I don't know if a researcher any way could find in France a guy that drank 65,000 bottles a day, and that's why he was so healthy. No? I think probably he drowned. I don't think he was healthy enough. No? Last week, Dr. Watson, the discoverer of the DNA, said that the dangers of antioxidants should be taken into account in every health issue. For example, and that is true, no? Why are we producing reactive oxygen species? The anti-aging theory is because what you are, the cell is suffering and produces that as a signaling that you need help. But it is also used by your immune system to kill bacteria and viruses. And even this Dr. Watson found out that the way for cancer patients that are going through chemotherapy or radiations is because when they get that, their cells suffer so much that they produce these reactive oxygen species. So if they're taking chemotherapy or radiation and at the same time using antioxidants, they're doing nothing. No? They just keep their illness the way it is. No? And that's why it is also important not to go overboard with ingredients. Some marketing-based companies, just to have the claims, will tell you 10 times whatever this miracle ingredient we got. No? But we are serious about not doing that. And as we are serious, just making sure to got the exact dosage that was proven. Okay. No, it's okay. Well, just forgot about that. We also add a dab of physiology and biochemistry and all that to this research. Bit boring, but interesting. I keep clicking this. Always comes up this slide, and I got something different here. Okay, but it's also advanced technology. And that means that the way we deliver those ingredients, those active ingredients, to precisely the place we want them. We're talking about the carrier formulations, the way we do the herbal extractions and the standardization, and why we follow, just to make sure, pharmaceutical good manufacturing practices, just to be right on the other side of a well-done product, more than that. So, how we put all this together? Hey, we got a new one. It's how we do product development with this philosophy. We start with a product concept. I always go holistic because we are not talking of a piece of skin or a chunk of fat. We are talking of real people. And we need to take care of them totally, completely, as a whole human, not as a piece of a problem you need to resolve. No? This is not an approach of hiding a symptom while creating a lot more problems. No? You ever see, we leave that for the pharmaceutical companies. No? You ever seen those advertising in which they say, this is good for this, and then you get a huge list of side effects? So they mask one symptom and they can create so many more. It is scary. No? How can you believe that even trying to help a kid with ADD is giving them a medicine that can provoke suicidal intentions? And well, just to cover themselves legally, you can read on the small letters that that can happen. No? Is that helping somebody? No? I don't know. That's crazy. No? I don't know how many mid-aged guys that started balding and thinking to do something with themselves, go to the doctor, get the balding pill, and then what happens with them is that, okay, probably something is growing there, but something down there is not working. No problem, pharmaceutical industry's got this thing. Now you will have the blue pill. So keep on taking that one for your hair. So it starts taking the blue pill and a heart attack at my age? How comes? No problem, my friend. We also got something for your heart. And that pushes you to the loss of density in the bones. And from that on, well, it's all downways to a geriatric care unit in your 40s. Isn't that crazy? Well, probably the nurses will refer or will talk about you as a pitch head, you know, because of the fuzzy thing you got there. Okay. So we pick herbal candidates, we do performance, safety, dosage, we do those safety studies. They're very important for us. And we start formulary development, which is basically developing on one side the carrier systems, what you would call the lotion, the vehicle, the pharmaceutical industry, that will suit better the needs of the active ingredients we need to deliver. We do some prototype testing and stability studies so we can understand how long a shelf life the product will have. And that is important because I really don't like to go overboard with preservatives. We need them, but we just need it in the amount we want to have for that shelf life we are expecting, which regularly is 2 years or even more, because we follow different strategies. Microbiological challenge tests and consumer testing. We do not test on animals. No animal testing. That's why I got a family. Yeah, but in fairness, I start with me. Then I go with the family. I got great test subjects at home, co-workers, volunteers, and usually by then we already know the product is working perfectly. I heard of some people saying that instead of lab rats, we could be using politicians. It makes sense. Yeah, they are everywhere. They do anything for money, and they want to look good for the picture. So they are essentially good candidates for that. I am not using politicians. No politician has been harmed with our tests.
You're so cute.
Now, the raw materials. Our herbal extracts, I take care of them. I don't buy them commercially. They are done to our order, and they are made fresh for every batch. And we do cold processing to make sure that everything is preserved from the plant as it was intended by nature. Yeah. Our herbs, oops, I am in the orange and I am not even halfway. Sorry, I'll speak fast. Our herbs are grown in a biological manner. I am not going to rant about the business of organics, but the way is that we are doing better than that. Yeah, some of the few herbs are wild harvested in approved areas, and many of those specialized ingredients we bring them from Europe. But it's not that. We use pharmaceutical, same thing, pharmaceutical grade ingredients because the standards of purity over there. 3-stage purified water, and we have of every ingredient we use in our products certificates of analysis, just to make sure they were pure, they were exactly what we were looking for. Okay, our products are manufactured in a certified medical materials facility, not in a cosmetics facility. We just went a step over that. All the handling of protocols from raw materials to the final product clearance are done with pharmaceutical protocols, and we sanitize the processing equipment every batch. And we sanitize manufacturing areas every batch. And we sanitize our people every day. So when we do this, what we have is a product that is effective, that produces real benefits. It is safe, non-toxic. Ingredients are botanicals, aromatherapy oils, vitamins. Doses are functional, no artificial colors, no fragrance, no animal byproducts. It's totally cruelty-free, environmentally free, and we have minimized by then the risk of allergic reactions. And I am so behind, well, we're getting there. So really, the only thing you will have to remember, besides telling people to try that crazy, this went on its own, that crazy rap thing, is that really, truly, scientifically, honestly, ethically, we take care of the efficacy and the safety of our products. They are developed out of love. They are developed for our family. They are developed for you, which are my super extended family. Thank you. Yeah. Quick. Okay. All our products work together, as they are also good on their own. No? Cleanser, great product. It's the first step to prepare your skin. You know about that, but also you have to know that it's biodegradable. It's not toxic, non-toxic for aquatic life, and it's not bioaccumulative, which it is something that probably won't kill a fish, but it will be funny, and next time you get a fish fillet, and I know that smell. Isn't that the cleanser? Hydrating toner. This is my favorite. If I were to get stranded in an island with only one choice of products, probably I would be using this. This, I love it, and it's highly addictive, and it helps so many things. I wouldn't say that. And the defining gel. Yeah, you know about it. Yeah. It enhances rapid results. It provides a continuous daily stimulation, keeps things going. Great for cellulite, flabby skin, you know, those bad wings. Hawaiian dresses and all that. Hey, how about doing some gardening? Well, by now you know I love herbs and I love to grow them. I think botanicals have the evolutionary advantage. They have evolved for millions of years. They have evolved with us. It's not something concocted out of the lab a couple of years ago and they are throwing that to you because the FDA decided it was okay. We'll take care of whatever happens after that, no? We are talking about sustainable development, preserve biodiversity, create jobs in the field, rural jobs creation, no animal suffering, about that. That is great. And we're having a lot of fun doing this, as you can see. Yeah, right now, this is part of a great project. We are dealing with a lot of issues concerning the weather changes, global warming, environmental degradation. I just recently read somewhere, and I had the news, but seems to be that by 2030, almost 50% of the ecosystems in the world are going to be endangered. And the way the forests are being lost in order to produce more food for an ever-growing population, and all these species that nobody's taking care of them. This is a very important issue for us, and we are taking care in different manners. That's part of the growing our own herbs. I know, well, probably for people from Colorado and Washington State, growing our own means something else. Yeah, they are going back to the good times. Okay, but right now what this means is we already set in place a specialized nursery where we have different greenhouses, each of them with a different environment. We have a tropical environment, a temperate warm, temperate cold, desert environment. And this year we are starting building a micropropagation laboratory so we can reproduce these plants in order to have more of them and grow more of them. In the ranch where you see those pictures, right there. So we can have access to high quality, make sure that while all these botanicals are going scarce because of all the global changes and the weather and all that, we will have them. So what's going to happen? As we grow as a company, the world goes greener, which is great, I think. Hey, my partner. Yeah, it's wow. I don't know how to say it's the greatest partner. I've always feel blessed with teaming up with him. He's a person of integrity. He's a fun guy. Yeah, we have enjoyed a few adventures out there. Nothing we can talk about. Probably those conspiracy theories you should ask him. Yeah, but what I love about Mark is his passion. As I am passionate about product development and research, he is as passionate about you people and making sure that you have the best business opportunity that a man can ever imagine. And that's doing that with honesty and integrity. So, my friend Mark, thank you so much for being a friend. And probably that's the thing I treasure the most, being a friend to this guy.
Are we good? Luis is supposed to talk about me. I was coming out to talk about him, but that's the kind of spirit that Luis has, is always giving. You know, I mentioned last night with Luis, this has been an amazing year. I mean, great stuff. You know, I told him we had some problems when you're growing 400, 500%. You know, every time I called him, all I kept saying was more. And Luis, amazing, really, you look back in the history of how many companies have grown 400 or 500% in a year and been able to keep up with their manufacturing. And through it all, I know there was stress. I know you and I were greater. And yet, you always said at the end of any call we did, Mark, I got your back. I don't know how, but we'll get this done. And you always found out the how. And I just, in front of everyone, just again, wanted to say, you know, we had a vision way back and started this together. Luis and I started this on a handshake. And both just had a common vision of what we could do, build a company, but also really involve our families. And then along the way, all of you became part of our family. And Luis, I want to give you a little momentum of the magazine that you and your kids are in, our family's in, and how much we love and appreciate you. So get up with me and let's give a great round